Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales is the 5th and latest film in a franchise or series that some people, most people would say has gotten worse with time. Now, I'm in the minority when I say I pretty much enjoy every single one of these films, although I do agree that they have gotten worse as, you know, as the films have gotten on. But, you know, I'm a huge fan of the series. I love the first film, and I was really excited to see what they were going to do with this film because the trailers looked really good. They got new directors, they got some new actors, they got Javier Bardem to come on as the villain, so I was very excited. But after seeing the film, I have to say that I was pretty damn disappointed because this film is really 50-50 in every sense of the word. There are some really cool shots and like CGI stuff in this film, but then there's also some really bad and noticeable CGI, some really weird camera movement, and scenes that aren't really lit properly. The score can be used really well, and it can do a really good job of enhancing a scene, but sometimes they just open the theme music really loudly for no reason and to just disrupt the flow of the scene. Which brings me to my next point, which is that this film is really unsure of what it's trying to do. I mean, the whole purpose of the film is that, you know, these characters are trying to find the Trident of Poseidon because, well, the plot needs them to. It has a start and an end, but the film just meanders so much and it just loses focus. It has no sense of direction, and it's just kind of a mess. And there are so many scenes in this film that I would have cut out, and those scenes, their only purpose is to add more humor to the film, and humor has been such a big part of this series, so that is kind of understandable. But the jokes and all this humor in this film, for the most part, kind of come off as annoying and kind of frankly immature. I mean, some of the stuff that they do in this film is like they gave a 9-year-old kid the script and it's like, you know, do whatever you want. It really was that bad. And there are some seriously uncomfortable and cringe-worthy scenes in this film that are only there for humor, and these scenes really do affect the pacing of the film. I mean, this film is 2 hours and 9 minutes, making it the shortest film in the franchise, but it feels so much longer than that because of these unnecessary scenes, because of this lack of focus and direction. And the film is cut together in a very disjointing way. I mean, stuff just kind of happens. I mean, there's an action scene and then a character who you haven't seen for about 15 minutes just comes in. There's no setup or anything, it just kind of happens. And that happens quite a lot in the film. Things just kind of happen. Now let's talk about the action scenes, which aren't bad. There's no shaky cam, there's no over editing, but there's also pretty much no energy. The action scenes aren't directed with any fast pace, there's no arc, there's no beginning or an end. The characters never feel vulnerable, they're always on top of things, and every time there's an action scene, the film just kind of grinds to a halt, and that really again does affect the pacing of the film. Every single action set piece in this film you've seen before done in something else. Like, actually the first opening big action scene is a direct rip-off of Fast 5, and that really pissed me off. The final action scene didn't feel right again. There was so much CGI, and again, the action scenes in this film, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. Now, I probably sound like I really hate the film, but I don't. There are some good bits, which I'll get into now. The performances. I mean, Geoffrey Rush as Barbossa gives a really good performance, but then again, Geoffrey Rush is pretty amazing in everything. Javier Bardem as the villain, now he's really good. The villain visually looks really scary and really cool, and I think that the makeup team and the design of the villain were really creative, but I think the main problem with the villain here lies in the script, because this villain never really feels threatening or scary at all. But I do like the backstory of the character though. That was really cool, that was really well handled. Also, Brendan Thwaites is one of the main characters in this film, and when I saw him in the trailers, I thought that, you know, he was going to be one of those cocky dickheads with something to prove. He really surprised me because he was very likable, and I never felt he was annoying at all, and I actually really cared about his character. Also, Kaya Scodelario, she plays the main female lead. She was also very good, but there was this running joke in the film that she was a witch because she was really smart. That got really annoying really quickly. Which brings me to Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, one of the most famous movie characters ever, one of the most iconic. His performance in the first film, everyone can agree, that was one of the best performances ever. That was Oscar worthy, everyone knows it. But in this film, the character wasn't even likable. I didn't even care about him. I didn't want him to succeed. It just didn't feel right. Again, pretty much all the characters and just everything about the film. It just didn't feel right. Like when Gore Verbinski directed the first 3 films, there was just something really cool and weird and gritty about the films. But with this one, it just feels like such a Hollywood blockbuster, and it didn't have that flair that the first 3 films had. And unfortunately, the same can be said for Johnny Depp's performance here, because it's just more of the same, really, and there wasn't that special energy that was in his first performance. Also, the beginning scene and the ending scene are really good. I really liked the beginning scene. It was really smart and really fun, and the ending scene I loved. I thought it was the best way to end the film. Also, there's an end credit scene, so you can stay for that if you want, but I really liked the ending. It had a really good sense of finality to it, and I feel like they ended the film on a very high note. I'm gonna give this film a C. If you're a big fan of the Pirates films but haven't seen this film, don't. Just go watch the first few. If you haven't seen any of the Pirates films, well, go watch the first few. They're much better. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you.